pitch is looped towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And he's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the world. Tom Zapp, my good friend and co-host, Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico. What are you doing?
I need a fan there. Can't breathe. It's so hot. Jeez.
Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli, two of our dear friends, John Taube from JT Sports, Jeromy Murray from Mr. Cavalier held you up today from Pristine Auctions, right?
We're here now, though. We're here now.
That's all that counts. Listen, we got a great show today. We're going to be a little bit all over the place. John has some great stuff he's going to talk about. We're going to talk to Jeromy about some great stuff. After the second segment, Rico, you're going to be thrilled. We have the results of the first game of the AI Sweet 16 NBA All-Time Tournament, presented by Danny Shapiro, the basketball savant. And please send any bitch that you have right to Dan. Don't send them to us. But we have the results of the first game. Got a lot of stuff going on. But listen, before we start, a little PSA for our friends at the National. Hey, collectors and sports fans, this one is for you. The National Sports Collectors Convention is teaming up with hobbyists like you to support Make-A-Wish Illinois and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital through the 2025 card fundraising sweepstakes, and it's your chance to win big for a great cause. Iconic prizes are up for grabs, like a 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle signed SGC 5, a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan PSA 9, and an incredible original painting by sports artist Murray Henderson titled Chicago Sports Legends. Here's how it works. Donate just $25 to enter, and yes, you can enter up to 40 times. The more you give, the more chances you have to win, and 100% of proceeds are split evenly between St. Jude's and Make-A-Wish Illinois. Winners will be drawn on August 6th, and all items will be on display at the 45th National Sports Collectors Convention. Don't wait. Head to the nsccshow.com/card fundraising sweepstakes to enter today. That's the nsccshow.com/card fundraising sweepstakes. Collect, give back, and win big. So that's a good cause.
Did you hear him earlier, guys, say, now maybe it's me, St. June?
No, I said Jude. I said Jude.
Wait a minute. Did he say, do you know, either one of you hear that?
I heard Jude.
Thought I heard St. June.
St. Jude.
That's all right, but that's okay.
I said St. Jude. St. June.
St. Jude? When, in June?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. All right.
All right, listen. We got a lot to talk about today. Mr. Taube from JT Sports, Jeromy. John, we're going to hold off for a couple of minutes on your little surprise for Rico to see.
Sure.
I want to talk about bats on both ends, Jeromy and John. John, you sell gamers, game-used bats from anything from Joe Jackson to the present. You've probably held it all. Jeromy, you guys have a really nice niche for bats that are signed, not gamers, but that are signed. You have a great niche for that. Let's talk to you first, Jeromy. Where do you get all these bats? Do you guys have players sign them yourselves?
Yeah, we don't. Most of our stuff are consignments. It is guys that buy into signings at shows that do signings. It's a lot of the modern players there. When we do have some of the vintage stuff that comes through, but it's a lot of it. I mean, most of our bat pieces that we receive are large consignments.
I mean, I was on your site, and you must have had 15 or 20 of them signed by various players. Pristine stuff. I mean, beautiful stuff. Now, John, you on the other hand, game used, right?
Game used.
John, how long have you been doing this now?
Longer than I want to admit, but I've been involved with between collecting and dealing probably 30, 35 years.
Now, you never had Rico's 0 for 32 bat, though, correct?
0 for 32.
Yeah.
No.
Rick, what happened to that bat?
I think it went in the fireplace. By the way, I guess nobody'd be interested in the Mets and the Yankee bat since they haven't been working at all the last 10 years.
Ooh.
No, it's okay.
No, I mean, John, the man speaking the truth here.
What a collapse! Come on.
No, look, I'm right with you. I'm right with you. I'm ready to bleed to get some some runs back. I mean, the offense is going silent.
John,
I got too much.
John, I'll tell you what.
Talent there.
Your manager is the problem. I'm telling you right now, your manager is the problem. I think that's my opinion.
Look, I'm not disagreeing. I think a change should have been made last year.
Jeremy, you're not a Yankee fan, are you?
I'm not. I'm a Rangers fan. And when you're talking about bats not hitting, the Rangers are right in that. They got five hits last night against the Orioles. It's not good.
I tell you, this kid on the Red Sox, this kid that Rico has been touting, Roman Anthony, is batting a lofty 126. I don't know, Rico. You've been really.
No, you see how many both the Angels, the Sox are playing the Angels, both the Angels and the Red Sox players. When they show, when they come up and they showed it. 197, 202.
It's crazy.
I mean, I think they don't care about not them, but the front offices. They don't care about the batting average.
Well, you know something, Rico. I'm going to ask you this question, and guys, chime in here. Rico, rookie year, your rookie. What did you bet your rookie year? Your first full season?
Geez, I want to say 230, 240. Something.
I mean,
like
how
that.
difficult is the adjustment?
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. You never saw the pitchers. They know how to work you, balls in the dirt, inside. So it's tough. Plus the fielding is much better, way better than in the minors. Pitchers are better and so on. So I understand that. But I'm talking about veterans. I'm talking about some of the veterans, especially on the Angels. But there's guys with home runs and RBI. So, I mean, that's what wins games, but you got to get somebody on. But anyway.
And, John, by the way, you guys gifted us potentially our all-star catcher.
Yes.
I mean, this kid's having a great season.
Oh,
very solid season, man. And, that was a nice gift from the Yankees. Louis, Louis chimes in. Louis is a baseball expert. By the way, Louis, for those fans and viewers.
Don't do that to me.
No, I'm going to do it to you. Louis has a Sirius radio show. Lou, how long have you been on the air in Sirius Radio?
XM. Huh?
Oh, wow. 13 years, 14 years.
And what's the name of it?
It's the Inside of Baseball show from insideofbaseball.com.
Awesome. Louis it's a great show. Lou, what are your thoughts on, just out of curiosity, on Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer? Overall,
got to give them time. I think they're both really excellent hitters. I think Roman Anthony's showing some stuff. Just they threw him in there. There's a lot of pressure on these guys, facing lefties, major league hitters for the first time. I mean, got to give them some time. I like both of them.
Guys, I wanted to ask you about these new bats. What are they called again with the Yankees? Torpedo bats. What's it seemed it was the big thing right away especially when the Yankees had 5-6 home runs a game. Some of the guys using it, but what is it? What they put extra wood on it or something?
The dynamic of the barrel is a little different.
Oh, okay.
How
it usually goes in. Yeah, so it's going.
It's a little bit more south.
Yeah.
Jeremy, have you picked up any of those bats in your auctions?
I have not seen one. I would love to see one come in. I'm surprised that we have not seen any yet.
Yeah.
So I bet they come in soon.
Guys are still using them. I know they are because you can kind of see. Geez,
when Rico played, John, there was H&B. Who else was there, Rico? Who were the bat
manufacturers? At first, there was only Hillrick and Bradsby. Then Adirondack came along. That was the second. And then after that, a few years later, there were others, you know. But
and John,
they had good wood. I mean, they had excellent wood, actually.
How many manufacturers are there today, John, in the majors?
In the majors, Tom, I'm going to be honest with you. Off the top of my head, I can't even tell you. There's so many.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. There are so many.
But like Louisville Slugger, HB, are they still the Mona Lisas of it, or is that gone by the wayside?
That type of terminology, I think, is gone. You know, Louisville is still, you know, one of the prime manufacturers and suppliers to Major League Baseball, and you also have companies like Rawlings, Adirondack. You have, I should say, Rawlings now, Marucci, Victus, Homewood. I mean, you can go right down the ladder, and the product is maple.
Really, Jeromy, maybe a silly question, but you know, when I watch some of the players today, their bats, the colors of the bats are like extraordinary. Like Meyer is a good example. Rico, the barrel of his bat is red. Same thing with the bat that Anthony uses. Is there any increase in price or value when a bat like that comes through?
I think it definitely helps. I think what all these guys are doing is creating bats that are sort of branded for themselves and their endorsements and things like that. It's just extra sort of notoriety for each of the players that's there. And we're talking about all the different bat manufacturers and things like that. My guess is some of the contracts these guys get for using those specific bats and endorsing those bats is pretty high. And so I could imagine if you had some bat roll in here that was red for a specific player, it would spike the thing. I think back to with my son, and even in Little League, the bats that they roll out there now, like the one that's really funny is the one that looks like a pencil that they use, and all the kids want it. And so I think that goes behind the branding of these bats that are there, and I could see it rolling out for the major leagues for sure.
Yeah,
John, what about on your end with these modern bats gamers that are coming in that are different colors? Does that add anything at all to the value, or is it just the player behind the bat?
Well, with game used, it depends on the collector. You may have a collector who is trying to collect, each different bat that a player uses, or they may be looking for a specific model, with an axe handle. But a lot of these colors, years ago, Pete Rose, I'll use him as an example. His rose-colored Mizunos at the time were not approved by Major League Baseball. Now it appears that anything goes. You talk about the red bat, the black bat, the purple bat, the gray bat.
You know what? I'm surprised, Enrico.
Guys, during the holidays during the spring with Mother's Day and Father's Day, there weren't so many Father's Day bats. There were a lot of Mother's Day bats.
Right? Yeah, the pink.
There were pink bats too.
Do they use them for one day, or do they uncolor them, or how does that work? Because Rico, it's going to be tough to pick up a bat for one day.
That's what I was going to ask. Exactly, yeah. Rico, is it tough? Would it be tough? All these colored bats that are out now, you think it would be tough for a pitcher to pick up on the batter?
No,
really.
Yeah. By the way, there was it goes back when I played. Somebody ordered bats without the varnish, and it was weird. So the question, and we wanted to see, is it better without the varnish on? It was, it would. I mean, it was really interesting, and the conclusion came to that it was not. If you couldn't hit, it didn't matter what the hell bat you used.
We're chatting with John Taube and Jeromy from. I'm losing my mind. I was going to say Leland's. Jeromy. Jeromy from Pristine Auctions. Hey, by the way, we have a new sponsor that is coming aboard today, and we want to welcome Finkelmeyer Insurance Company. Louis.
Finkelmeyer, yeah, that's good. Very.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Company has been insuring collectibles since before there were collectibles insurance. The late Tom Finkelmeyer manuscript the original sports memorabilia insurance policy in the early 80s when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., who is the president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Company. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, pairs that with 50 years of collecting. A lifelong student, he's earned a litany of professional designations. He's a certified insurance counselor, a certified risk manager, a certified personal risk manager, a certified marine insurance professional, a certified professional insurance agent, a certified school risk manager, and a certified insurance service representative. Elite. Unlike many of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to consumers online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only retail independent agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, and events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance.
John,
Wow,
you use
hey,
Finkelmeyer.
don't ask me a question because I don't have that a long answer.
John, you use them, Finkelmeyer, right?
Yes.
Good. How long have you been using them?
Well, I dealt with Tom Sr., now Tom Jr., probably 20, 25 years since we've been insured in business. Yeah.
Hey, listen, before we take a break, Jeromy, tell us about the no reserve auction ending this coming weekend.
Yeah, our monthly elite auction wraps up this Sunday, last Sunday of each month. And so it is, again, loaded with higher end, more unique items that we look for each month. So we're always excited when the elite comes to the end. This week, it's Pristine Week, so we're sort of celebrating a weekly auctions throughout the week, but it wraps up with the elite auction this week with some really, really, really unique, nice pieces on Sunday night.
Now, both of you guys, Jeromy, you guys are gearing up big time for the National, right? Any surprises?
Jared and the marketing team are and me as well. It's going to be a big setup, a big. We're excited about the National. We have our big push this year is our live auction. That's kind of the hot thing right now. The Whatnots and the eBay Live and the Fanatics Live, and we have done really, really well over the past year with our live platform. So we'll be having live auctions there, and the marketing team are really ramping up for a beautiful booth with a lot of stuff going on at the National.
How about you, John?
Well, we're building inventory right now. We're up over 100 bats that we're going to be bringing. And we're going to have the big boys, of course, will be, Ruth and Cobb. We're also going to have a couple Hank Aaron bats, Willie Mays.
Any Mantle bats?
We will have a 1960 Mantle. Yes, we will.
Hey, nice.
Just a nice inventory. And I showed Tom earlier, we're going to have a couple of nice jerseys. Otani, we'll have a couple of his bats. So there will be something at the booth for everybody.
You know, John, I've offered on many occasions, if you ever want a signed wiffle bat from me, from my youth, I'll be more than happy to send one. You don't even have to get it authenticated.
Is it plastic or wooden?
No, it's plastic, unfortunately. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. I am so excited. When we come back, we are going to have the results of the first round of the GAX AI Sweet 16 NBA All-Time Tournament, powered by Danny Shapiro, the basketball savant. And remember, if you have any bitches, send them to Danny. Don't send them to Rico and I. We're going to take a quick break. Hang in there. We will be right back.
Where's the bitches? What kind of
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back and chatting with Jeromy Murray from Pristine Auctions, Mr. JT, John Taube from JT Sports. Before we get into the tournament, PSA to my friend Rico Petrocelli. Rico, I know you don't get any of my emails and you read none of them, read no messages. We are not having lunch tomorrow. Did you get that message?
Yeah, I couldn't make it anyway. It's worked out real good.
Wait a minute. You have a Red Sox thing before that.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
but I had something. Well, no, I had something after that I didn't tell you because I wasn't sure if it was very important. And anyway.
Can I come? Can I come to the Red Sox?
No. Yeah, you can come. You know what it is?
Yeah.
The senior centers.
know
the
that.
senior center.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I'll speak.
So let me ask you
people
this.
with Alzheimer's.
So the older players go to these senior centers. Is that basically how it works?
Well, the only two I know of is myself and Jim Lonborg, who lives in the area. I'm not sure if there's any other guys around that would do it.
And they pay you handsomely, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I get oil. If I got a change of oil, I get that. But we had one with Jose Santiago. He comes in a wheelchair. He's having some problem, leg problem.
Yeah.
And his son's in there. So we answer questions. There was an MC, and people, unfortunately, they're just looking straight ahead and what the hell we're saying. So I said, Jose, go sit over there because you're ready.
Wait a minute. You had a shill? You had a shill in the audience asking questions.
No, we had. This was not a show, but whatever.
A shill.
No, I know what you're saying. No,
you had a plant.
I said Jose ought to go in the audience. I says you ought to be in there with these people in the senior center for Pete's sake. And he said, "Yeah, I should be. Me too."
All right,
anyway,
listen.
Come on, let's get into this.
It's time for the results of the Sweet 16 NBA All-Time Tournament, powered by Danny Shapiro, the basketball savant. And remember, if you have a bitch, send it to Danny. Don't send it to us. All right.
I'm a bitch. Why?
First, you never know, because you know something. Mallory is very critical of this, but he's coming around. All right. The first round, we had the number one seed, 1995-96 Chicago Bulls versus the 1916 seed, 1963-64 Boston Celtics. The results of the game were Chicago Bulls 128, Boston Celtics 92. And here's a little breakdown. By the way, we're not giving individual scores by players. AI refuses to do that. But in this matchup, the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls defeated the 63-64 Boston Celtics 128-92. While the Celtics had a stellar team, the Bulls, with their dominant roster, including Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, possessed superior offensive firepower and defensive versatility. And these four guys led the Bulls to victory. The Bulls were led by Michael Jordan, who was a scoring machine. Jordan's offensive prowess, combined with Pippen's all-around game and the rebounding of Rodman, overwhelmed the Celtics defense, despite the strong presence on the board of the Celtics. The Bulls defensively always were known for shutting down opponents, and their ability to disrupt the Celtics' offensive rhythm was a major factor in their win. The Celtics, while defensively sung for this era with Russell, Havlicek, Heinsohn, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, they did not have the depth and versatility of the Bulls. The Bulls boasted a deep roster with players capable of filling multiple roles. The depth, combined with their versatility in offense and defense, made them a formidable opponent and made it very difficult for the Celtics to find an effective counter strategy. The Bulls employed a strategy focused on controlling the pace of the game, using their superior offensive firepower and defensive intensity to force the Celtics into mistakes and mismatches. While the Celtics were a great team back then, the Bulls' combination of offensive dominance and defensive strength proved too much for Bill Russell and the rest of the Celtics. 128-92. What do you guys think? Fair score? Jeromy?
This is the 95-96 Bulls is my absolute heyday, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat that team.
Well,
very hard to beat the team.
John, what do you think?
No, I agree. They were dominant, especially, of course, Jordan and Pippen, but and Rodman seemed like he was getting every board. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Let me tell you, had Tony Kukoc on that team too. That was like their sixth man. Like that's
correct. That's correct.
Yeah,
I forgot about him. I am going to predict the number 3 seed 1985-86 Boston Celtics with Larry Bird, Robert Parrish. I think that team is gonna go far. Next week's matchup, we have the 2016-17 Golden State Warriors against the number 15 seed 1960-61 Boston Celtics. Now that's going to be an interesting game because the Celtics had like 7 or 8 Hall of Famers on that team, but I don't know if they can keep up with the Warriors.
Those top 4 seeds are going to be tough to beat. I'm going to tell you right now, looking at that list.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
You're looking at 30-year difference for Pete's
So what?
sakes. These kids are bigger and stronger. Are you kidding me? You got backcourt guys 6'9", 6'8", 6'7". That was the big guy. What was Russell? 6'9", 6 whatever. Anyway, it's tough. No,
Well, that's why it's a fun thing.
Well, fine. I'm just saying. That's why I'm not saying it's not a good idea. I'm saying that's my opinion.
All right, I got a question now.
Let's go ahead
for these two gentlemen. I want to talk to John first, and then I want to talk to Jeromy about the card version. John, with Rose, Jackson, guys like Buck Weaver, not Chick Gandil, but some of those other players that are now open to be to enter the Hall of Fame. Are their bats going to skyrocket? Guys like Buck Weaver, for instance, not necessarily, obviously Jackson, but even Rose, Buck Weaver, some of those other guys. What's going to happen?
Maybe not skyrocket, but they're definitely going to go up in value. We already see it, especially even prior to them being admitted back on the eligible list. The Black Sox have had like a cult following within the hobby. There are collectors specifically looking for the Black Sox, and they're valuable bats to begin with. And Rose has been, coming up and spiking in the last couple years. So you're going to see appreciation, and it's great for the hobby.
Jeromy, what about the? Go ahead.
Oh, good. No. Jeromy, I want to hear Jeromy.
I was going to ask Jeromy, what about the card side of it, Jeromy? Are the Buck Weaver cards, the Chick Gandil cards? Obviously the Jackson cards, but even the Rose cards, are those things going to appreciate?
The Rose specifically, there's a lot of Pete Rose autographs out there. He was signing any and every place that he could, and so there's a lot out there. I think there's going to be a spike in that. I think that you were able to get those on the cheap for the last couple of years because there were so many out there. I think once he gets in there, and I think it's a no-brainer he's going to get in there, I think it's going to bring back a lot of nostalgia for some of the parents that grew up with that. I think there's going to kind of be a resurgence of Pete Rose with the younger crowd, and you're going to be able to snag some of his autograph cards that are out there. So that's where I see something kind of affordable that everybody can get into. That the Black Sox and some of the older players that were out there, it's still, to me, seems a little bit distant for the community that's there now. But I think Pete Rose is still somewhat relevant just because he was everywhere.
Rick, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think Pete Rose is, what's the word? Not getting enough credit. I'm telling you, this guy was one of the great hitters. You get not only that many hits, but don't forget, he played in the era of using 3-5 relief pitchers coming in, guys throwing 90, high 90s, more players, more pitchers, throwing high 90s, and this guy was amazing. He was, year after year. He doesn't get enough credit, even though everybody thinks he should be in the Hall of Fame, of course. But boy, he was something. And how many World Championships was he? It was a couple, wasn't it, at least? But the playoffs and all that, he was amazing. I used to love him. We faced him a lot in spring training, and then of course World Series. But man, he could hit.
Yeah, he was a good hitter. John, let's get back to Jackson for a minute. I mean, I know Joe Jackson bats are like off the charts expensive, but Joe Jackson not being in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion, still never got the love that Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Lou Gehrig got. Does that elevate him now as to Joe Jackson memorabilia as a whole?
Well, the bats, speaking specifically about the bats, it's arguably the most desirable bat in the hobby. Joe Jackson, his rookie bat, from 1911 is, a masterpiece, and was very expensive. It sold for a few $1,000,000. And Joe Jackson, I would say yes. His ability now to get into the Hall of Fame and going into the Hall, there's going to be a spike across the board, for any of the memorabilia of these guys.
Should be, I think. Good. You guys ever get a bat, an old bat, like, say in that era, with nails in them, broken bats? You know what I'm saying? Because I know that, I heard, that they...
You heard.
that they used to put nails.
I heard there was cork in that bat.
That's
Never
right.
Well, I nails in the handle, okay, that's strictly to repair, cracks and things like that.
Yeah.
But we've seen the barrel of bats that actually have a pattern, of nails right in the contact area.
Ooh, I wish I would have done it. No. That's amazing. I know.
Well, something, we would never divulge a name, but I remember several years ago, Mr. Taube divulged the name of a Hall of Famer, a great Hall of Famer, who had a cork bat towards the end of his career. We're not going to talk about who it was, but
wow,
that's I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Rico, getting back to Rose for a minute, you played against him in the World Series. I know you did play against him quite a bit in spring training. Pete Rose, the man, what kind of a guy was he?
Well, from the way we looked at him as a ball player, he was a guy that had tremendous energy, sometimes from a little help from his friends, but he was very well liked. I don't know about the Cincinnati Reds, with Bench and those guys. They were all tremendous players, and who knew they were competing against each other. I don't know if they have problems within the human beings, but he was a pretty good guy. He loved baseball. That was his whole life, period. He had problems in marriage, and his son played, and they had some problems for a while, but they kind of made up later on in life. And but Tom, whoever's listening, I know he was. Let's say he was a rat. I don't care. I don't mean that.
No, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It was a real a-hole. Okay, and I don't care.
But he was a great player.
What did he do? His career, right? His career, not as managerial. He didn't go in as a manager. He should have gone in as a player. One of the great players. Him, Boggs, Tony Gwynn, and what's his name from the Twins?
Carew.
Those four guys were great hitters. I'm talking about fundamental hitters. They didn't hit a lot of home runs, but they could hit the ball for average. They could foul off the tough pitches. All of those things. They were incredible. And, batting titles, how many? 7, 8, 5, 6. Just incredible.
No, you're right.
Rose was right, very similar to them.
We're chatting with John Taube and Jeromy Murray. Rico, why don't you tell our friends the CSA Chantilly show is ending, I believe, this coming weekend. Why don't you tell our viewers about it?
Well, what if I don't want to?
Well, you have to. You're getting paid big money to do so.
Oh, yeah, I know. How much? $30 million a year. My God, shaking. Anyway, yes, CSA show is proud to present the Chantilly show, being held from June 27th to June 29th. Held at the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly, Virginia, just minutes from the Dulles International Airport, celebrating 29 years at the same location. Tremendous. There'll be over 450 plus dealer tables exhibiting on over 125,000 square feet of space. with both vintage sports cards and memorabilia, as well as modern-day sports treasures. You won't have to look very far for that special card, bat, ball, or autograph, even the bats with loaded with, what do you call those little things? Major auction houses and third-party grading companies will be on site to assist you with your collecting and authentication needs. I love that, authentication. Some of your favorite superstars will be on hand, including NFL Hall of Famers, The Bus. He was something. Jerome Bettis, Marcus Allen, Eddie George, Baseball Hall of Famer Chipper Jones, and many more. Over 40 guests in total. For more information, go to That's the Chantilly Show. What the hell was that? Who wrote
What?
This? For more information, go to where?
CSAshows.com.
Right, that's right. That's the Chantilly Show. Where you can find all of your sports collectible treasures. ChantillyShow.com.
John, you don't go to that show, huh?
No, I don't. You know,
you go to Philly?
Philly show. We do that 3 times a year, and we do the national.
And Jeromy, you guys don't go to Philly, do you?
Yeah, we're in Philly. We're sponsors in Philly, and we're sponsors at the CSA show.
You know, next year in September, Rico and I are going to be there doing the show from the Philly show. It's their 50th anniversary, and Joe and his gang have some huge, not to be announced yet, but some great plans for sponsors and vendors that weekend. And we're going to be doing a 2-hour show from there. Rico's going to be signing off. So, Rico, wait a minute. You're going to be making double the money. You're going to be getting
money.
Paid.
I ain't getting nothing.
You're getting paid by our producer. You're getting paid by the company that owns this show, and then you're getting paid by the Philly show.
No, listen, it's gas money. That's what it's basically.
He's got to pay for that new AC. He's got to pay that new AC.
That's good point. Good point.
Right. Hey.
That Joe and the guys at that Philly show, that show has gotten massive.
Oh, it's huge.
It's just blown up. It's
great
really,
show.
really great show.
Tremendous.
It is.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, John has an interesting bat for Rico to take a look at. Very interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's called a tease, Rico. That's called a tease.
Yeah, I know. Very nice.
All right, hang in there. We'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a 2-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Are you a collector looking for that rare trading card or autograph ball or photo? If so, then PB Collectibles in Newport is the place for you. PB Collectibles has graded cards, raw cards, complete sets, and wax boxes of the stars of the future, today, and from the past. We also offer a large selection of both vintage and modern cards. So whether you're looking to add to your collection or sell it, visit us at PB Collectibles, 269 Spring Street in Newport, located across from St. Mary's Church. We are your neighborhood card shop and much more.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
No dream is impossible. Give Mike a call or his great staff at, let's see, who's there? Ava and Caitlin, customer service. They're terrific. They're really
Rico, can you get me one suntan lotion?
No, I can get you a pen.
A freaking pen. I get pens. I have enough pens.
So you want suntan lotion?
Suntan lotion. Yeah, Petrocelli suntan lotion.
No, we're not Petrocelli. You ever hear of let's see, Walgreens and CVS and there's other? I mean, come on, go to the drugstore and buy it.
All right,
So
listen.
cheap.
So we have a little
ahead.
surprise to you, Rick.
Me?
For you. We're not giving you anything, so chill out. All right. All right. This is something for you to observe. John, why don't you tell Rico your little what went on?
Well, recently I had the opportunity of buying a large collection of game-used bats from a former visiting clubhouse bat boy for the Cincinnati Reds. And he was employed by the Reds during the 1974 and 75 seasons. And what we picked up with part of that collection was a group of bats used by the Red Sox in the 1975 World Series.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is Rico's.
Where did he get it?
Okay. Well,
hey, it's a game-used bat.
That's a gamer.
Fine stuff.
That's a gamer, and you gave it to him.
I gave it to him?
It says
he's a liar.
It says right on there, to Gary,
All
best wishes, Rico Petrocelli.
I must have been drinking the night
1975 World Series. Right there.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, Rico. Now listen.
I'm just kidding. It's
No,
beautiful.
but we're going to try. I'm going to listen. I want to try to pique your memory. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
No, seriously. Do you remember giving the clubhouse guy a signed bat by you in the 75 series? Because if you do, John, maybe we can zero in on what game it was.
Yes. Well, they were in Cincinnati, games 3, 4, and 5.
I do not remember. I'm serious. I'm very surprised because one thing I wanted to do is to keep those bats for my kids, four sons.
Nice job. Real nice job.
And,
well, one
but
point.
that's all right.
Rico, this is a regular season gamer. This is not a World Series bat.
Okay. I thought it was. That's no problem.
But
that's nice.
Yeah.
So wait a second though. But so you're saying that this isn't a World Series? It's a World Series, a bat that he used in the World Series.
In the World Series.
Well, exactly. Well, and Rico will tell you most of the players. Everybody got 2 bats. The position players got 2 bats that said World Series, and the pitchers got 1 bat. Yeah. And that's the bats that they kept.
Exactly.
This and the ones they actually used in the World Series tended to be a majority of the time they were regular season bats.
Right, so let's back into this. So you said games 3, 4, and 5. That's correct. I don't remember who won what. Did you guys win game 3, Rick?
Oh, no.
All right, so you lost game 3. How about game 4?
Game 4, not sure. We won 1 game there to bring it back to Fenway.
So, John, I would theorize that bat goes hand in hand with the game they won, because he would have been in a bitchy mood when they lost, and never in a million years given a signed bat to the bat guy.
No, I would have been in a lousy mood,
Well, the other thing about the bat, there is a little crack on the back.
What else is new?
Well, of course. No holes in there?
A little crack. No,
it's not corked, is it? Can you verify that?
It's good. It's clean.
Hey,
it's clean.
That's not corked.
Corked? Oh, jeez. I must have hit that pretty good there. No, but the guys, I don't think any of the guys, maybe a few, but not that I know of, would use those World Series bats. Don't forget we had the black bat. Everybody got the black bat with all the autographs on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then a couple of bats for the World Series and the All-Stars too. You got a couple of bats.
John, what other Red Sox players do you have?
Well, they're out. The other Red Sox bats are at PSA right now getting photo matched. We have Yaz's gamer. We have a Yastrzemski bat, a W215 that was used by Dewey Evans. We have Evans bat. We have Fisk's bat as well, and we have Juan Benitez and also Jim Rice. He didn't play, but he was, on the bench.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we have a nice grouping of bats.
Now,
That's
see,
nice.
Jeromy, you should pick up a couple of those for your auction. That's what I think. Right?
What, we should?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
How do you do that?
Rico, the price for a Rico bat's got to be high. That's going to be a showcase piece right there.
Oh, this is a masterpiece.
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 Yeah, right.
Well, hold on,
right,
Rico.
yeah.
What game you hit the home runs at Fenway, right? You didn't hit any home. You hit, yeah,
67.
Okay.
Yeah, this 75.
Oh, that's right.
I hit. I got a good start. I hit 308, but I had good RBIs. Then we got rained out. 3 days?
Yeah,
And that was it. I didn't do that much.
very,
after that.
very, very cool, John. Very
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Nice.
great. Wow,
Bat,
John.
and you can see it at the booth at the National.
All right,
yeah.
all right.
Don't forget Fisk and Yaz are Hall of Famers.
Well, we're gonna get
White
some
Evans
pictures.
White
we'll
hit a
get-
3-run home run. He hit
That's right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
One of his bats.
Rick, we'll get some pictures with you with that bat at the National.
Okay.
Hey, Jeromy, I want to ask you a question. In your opinion, what direction is the hobby? I mean, the hobby to me is so different than it was when we just first started this show, even 9 years ago.
Yep.
It's so different. Are you happy with the direction it's going in?
Yeah, and it's coming off of if you guys have watched what happened at Fanatics Fest this past weekend, just the hype, the social media, the marketing behind this, the money thrown at this event, I think it's brought a lot of people that were sort of fringe collectors more into this now, because it's turning into more of an entertainment, pop culture stuff feel. I did not do Fanatics Fest this year. I was there last year.
Yeah.
But everything I saw and heard, it was bigger than ever. And
Is
so
it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt the vintage market though?
that's the one thing I said. I don't think this show was necessarily a vintage market on that, and I wasn't there. I can't be 100% sure. I know the year before there were some vintage guys there, but what I was seeing there is a lot of really, really young people there, and I don't think it's a bad thing, because you just have to sort of teach people about the vintage market and learn if you're a flipper that the vintage market may not be necessarily what you're looking for, but it may be a long-term play in collectibles. So I think it just goes to sort of the education that we're giving some of these young kiddos out there that are getting into this market that we've been involved with for years.
We have a few minutes left. We're chatting with Jeromy Murray and John Torby. Hey, collectors, mark your calendars. Lucky's Promotions presents the East Coast National, happening August 15th through the 17th at the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. We're talking 400 plus tables, sports cars, memorabilia, and top hobby vendors, plus on-site authentication and grading all weekend from Beckett, JSA, CAS, SGC, CGS, STP, they're all going to be there. Free autograph guests Saturday and Sunday with paid admission. That list is going to be coming up soon. Show hours start Friday at 3 p.m. with early access at 1 p.m. Admission is just $15 a day. Kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Early access Friday, that's $40 and includes all-day admission. Tickets are sold at the door, cash only. Don't miss one of the big hobby shows on the East Coast. Follow us at East Coast National for updates. Listen, before we end this little soiree, real quick, on deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to robertedwardauctions.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. Rico, this question came in from a guy named Jack Donovan. Good question.
Jack, yeah.
Are pitchers today too pampered as opposed to when you played with some of the great pitchers in baseball?
Yeah, well, they're not too pampered. It's the people, the management people who think that they can't go more than 5 innings or have 2 times around, 2 or 3 times around. And some guys, it's proven that. Yeah, when I played, you had a sore arm. I mean, they owned it. First of all, there was no free agency, and then if you don't want to get down and pitch, you don't want to lose your job. So you go out there. If you're hurt, you had nothing, you get whacked around. But the guys today, they're being very careful. You know, they're making a lot of money, big investment, and they think that some pitchers, you know, go around twice and the third time, God forbid. By the way, guys, you see this week somebody pitched the complete game.
Oh,
yeah! Wow, I was
well,
like,
wait a minute, that's not totally true. Oh yeah,
Yes,
he did.
it
He
is.
did. Yeah, he did. You're right. He did.
No, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, this is a miracle. But they don't want these guys going, you know, more than 7 innings, 6 innings.
John, what are your thoughts on that before we end this? And Jeremy too. John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What are my thoughts
On the game of baseball? Yeah, just all of it today.
There's no question. I mean, the game has changed. It seems like MLB is promoting pizzazz. You know, I look at some of these uniforms, you know, the San Diego Padres. It looks like, you know, they're fielding a group of clowns when they put these uniforms on. They're multicolored, you know, right, Rico?
Yeah,
I mean,
I saw that.
you know, what happened to classic pinstripes or
Money.
Red Sox? You know,
Gone. Yeah,
it's gone.
Jeremy,
The
you're
bat
right.
flip,
How about
you know,
yellow?
come on.
How about yellow? Even though they're commemorating the bombing of this is with the Red Sox, you know, the bombing and the
Well,
marathon.
they have the green monster green.
They got green. Yeah. So
Yeah, they have
and
the green monster green.
same with
Well,
the hats. Is all
can you imagine, you know, Gibson or you know, any of those pitchers, Drysdale, you know, with a bat flip today?
No, they jump around and they all do it. So it's accepted from all the teams. You know, when they come from third home run, they jump up.
Let's
and
get
down.
it from the perspective of a youngster here. Jeremy,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I will tell you this: a couple of things. They're going to protect their players, and so they're not going to stretch them long innings. Like they have too much invested in these guys. With the jerseys, anytime they roll a new colored jersey out, that's a new piece of mem they could put in the mem shop, and that's money to be had there. With the bat flips and the hype and all the carnival activities around that, again, it goes back to what the young fan wants. Like they want the young fans in the stands and want that, and they have to entertain them. And it can't be if you have 5 seconds worth of downtime and it's quiet.
Yeah,
you're losing
They're
money.
gone.
You're losing their
Right.
focus. And I can say that with 2 kids.
They're trying to erase the boredom of what the game was perceived to be.
All right, so let's end this with the behind-the-scenes guy who's knows a lot about baseball. Louis, what are your thoughts? Is what we're talking about relative to uniforms, the modern stuff? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have a problem with the uniforms. That's just merchandising, keeps the game going. The arm thing, you got to protect your investment. You're paying 150, 200 million to some of these pitchers. You don't want to blow them out. Plus, Rico brought it up. The third time through the order is a real thing, and all you have to do is look at the numbers. And very few pitchers hold up the third time through the order. What they have to do, I think, is expand the roster for a couple of the relievers because
thank you.
2 times through the reliever, 2 times through the order is about it. It just doesn't make any sense running a pitcher out, except for the very, very, very good ones for the third time through the order.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen, it has been a pleasure.
Fun,
Obviously, we love having both you guys. Jeremy, he's become kind of like a semi-regular in the rotation with the rest of the guys, the
Great.
heritages and memories.
All
John,
you
you've
guys
been
are
here. You've been with
fabulous.
us since day one. Mr. Taube, we look forward. Hey, Rico, little surprise. One other little surprise.
What is it?
Next winter, because you and I are going to be broadcasting from Florida together, God forbid, every week. However, Mr. Taube is going to be a half hour from us.
Come on,
For
you
the
going
winter.
there?
For
For
the
the winter,
winter.
John. Hey,
So,
all right, don't forget.
so we're
Be there.
gonna it's
Tom's
gonna
buying.
be- Yeah, you're buying. It's going to be the 3 of us from the 18th floor of the Phoenix Towers
Oh, jeez.
broadcasting to the world. That'll be fun. that being
Yeah,
said,
we'll have a good time.
Jeremy, we
Looking
love you
forward
guys.
to it.
Say hi to
Yeah.
Jared. We're going to see you at the National.
Yes, sir.
Don, same thing with you. Look forward to seeing you at the National. Rico, great job as usual. Louis, spectacular job as usual. And to our viewers and listeners, thank you so much for the support and happy collecting.